Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. I'll bet you can pretty quickly tell that there's something wrong with this picture. That is the hammer. Actually it's broken into two pieces, and that is where it belongs. This is the Timney trigger pack from the Tavor that I use for hunting, and I had it out over the weekend. Wanted to re-verify a few things on the Scope Zero after having made a couple minor adjustments. And I got about 10 rounds into it and the gun jammed with a spent case partly ejected. Couldn't eject the case, couldn't close the bolt, couldn't open the bolt. So I was able to get the spent case back in so that I could close the bolt, but then I couldn't open the bolt. If I pull the bolt open, it'd do the same thing again. So the first thing I tried to do is remove the bolt by popping out the back plate, and that wouldn't work. So I popped the two pins that hold the trigger pack in place. Trigger pack popped right out. I have it right here in my hand, and so did the two parts of the trigger. This is actually two parts sitting next to each other. What this should look like, if it were properly operating, is something about like that. But of course it doesn't look anything like that right now. Apparently there was an issue with the very first generations. I got this when they first released it, first generations of the Timney trigger packs for the Tavors, where it's either a heat treat issue or a dimensional issue. It's kind of hard to get an exact answer which one of the two it is. But the bottom line is, after about 300 so rounds, they'll fail. This one lasted longer than 300 rounds, but it did actually in the end fail. So let's get to the customer service part of this. I called Timney. About third or fourth ring, a human answered, and no automated thing. It just somebody actually said hello to me. I told him what was going on, and he said immediately, just send it back, we'll replace it. They have a Generation 2 that's resolved all these issues. There's no known failures with it. I didn't get any hassles. I didn't have to do anything other than tell him what was going on and ship this back. And he said as soon as he gets my bad one, he'll turn right around in the mail and ship me out a good one, the replacement Gen 2. I have to pay shipping to them. They're going to cover all the other costs. So customer service along those lines is getting to be kind of rare these days. Usually you have to work your way through an annoying, multi-number phone tree and then get transferred 7 times and get a hassle. Not with Timney. You got a problem with a Timney trigger, you call them up, they take care of it immediately. Now we'll see how they follow through. The other half of this video will be when I actually get it back. I will follow through and let you guys know how quickly they turned it around and if everything led up to the promises. But so far, other than the annoyance of having this thing fail when I was using it, the customer service appears to be quite good. Well, I got my trigger back, and I'm very impressed with their customer service. I shipped it out Tuesday, so it didn't really start moving till Wednesday. They received it Thursday, shipped out the replacement same day, but it didn't actually start moving till Friday. And I've received it the following Thursday, so I just received it today. No hassles, no grief. I sent mine in, they just turned it right around, and I got it back. And so of course here's the new trigger, and it included a lollipop in the box. I think that's kind of funny. So I got some candy for the gun and some candy for me. But the trigger looks the same. You really can't tell any difference, but there is one minor difference. If you release it, I'll do this real slow so I don't damage it. There's a little 2, and it's kind of hard to see it, right at the base of the arm. You can see it kind of stamped in there. And that 2 indicates that it's a second generation. Mine didn't have that 2 stamped on it. So I do know that I've got the newest trigger. So if you buy a Timney trigger from a supplier, they can verify it before they ship it to you if you call them. And if they can't or won't, and you still order it and get it, before you even install it, you can pop it open. Just hold on to it. It's spring loaded. You don't want it to spring forward because it can damage it. Make sure you hold it, pull the arm forward, slowly release the hammer, and then just take a look and see if you can see the 2. You might be able to peek down in there through the side and see it, but it's going to be rather difficult. So the next step is to go ahead and fetch my Tavor, put the thing in, and make sure it works. I've got my Tavor, and I've previously cleared it. I haven't loaded it since I had it out in the, to remove the trigger. So I've got a clear gun, and the trigger pack I pulled out of it. So all I have to do is pull down on this. It goes in like this with the hammer facing towards the back and the long arm facing towards the front. Just slide it up in there. Pull the bolt release, snap it together, cycle it, and it works. So now I may have to go, a couple hundred rounds, to be 100% sure that this has solved the issue. But I'm pretty confident it has solved it. For everything I've read, that the problems were only with the Gen 1s. Gen 2s solved it. And if you are in possession of a Gen 1, it's going to fail. So you might want to just get in touch with them and replace it. If you've got a Gen 2, then enjoy it and rock on. And if you haven't used a Timney trigger on a Tavor, it is leagues ahead of the factory trigger. It's a very, very nice trigger. So if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you.